right, guys, we are in with episode 177 of Shackled City. Sorry about that delay. I was having to set up some cameras, some minor issues on my part. But we're good now. We are good. Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. Chilling.
Good.
You know, the usual.
The usual. What's the usual? I don't actually know what the usual is in this case.
Somewhere between dreading my existence and happy I'm alive.
You know, that's that doesn't change as you get any older, my friend. I promise.
Yeah, no, I'm just like somewhere stuck in between there.
Yeah.
I'm just dealing with that mental realization that quarantine is basically my day-to-day life.
Yeah, no, people don't get sick up here.
They don't?
No, like within 200 miles of me, there's been one confirmed case of coronavirus.
Wow. There's been like 12 in my town.
Yeah, people.
There seems to be more and more every day, but Florida doesn't want to apparently announce how many. I think is what was going on.
That's because y'all dumbasses hanging out on the beach.
Okay,
insane.
I don't know if you saw that news report about it happening. That beach is literally like an hour away from me of people just chilling at the beach.
Yeah, they're home from work. Why not go to the beach?
I saw that everyone's just
on the news.
Same down here, except there's no toilet paper on the shelves. That's the only difference.
I saw that on the news when they were doing the weather. They were showing like the Santa Monica Pier, and like obviously like the pier itself is closed, but to the right you just see like a fucking row of people just chilling. I was like, oh,
I can't even be mad.
All right. Yeah.
Like I wasn't expecting to see like the beaches are empty. I was like, man, everyone's just gonna go to the beach. I know people are still going out to bars and movies.
You know, when you position your head just right, Sniper, it makes it look like you have a really stupid haircut.
He does have a really stupid haircut.
Yeah, every position his head is in makes him look like he has a stupid haircut.
You got this weird like Bozo the Clown thing going on. It's kind of freaking me out.
Guys are weird. But
Homie, don't play that.
Overall, just kind of taking it day by day. You know, just
good.
Watching the people settle back down into their everyday lives while we are on gamer mode.
I know it's
the world.
I know it's scary for a lot of people. It's I mean within reason. But there, believe it or not, there are a lot of people that actually think that this is a hoax, which is super bizarre. But we'll not go into that right this particular moment. The goal of tonight,
like the president of the United States,
and most of my family in Georgia, yes, yes. So we are going to deviate away from that and deal with a very different sort of plague, and
we'll just deal with the other plague in our game.
And what various undead await us in Shackled City. So let's go ahead and let's start a recap tonight. Who's gonna kick us off?
Oh, so we need to do a recap, everyone. If you haven't done so already,
God, please no.
Go ahead and get your chains and get your locks and get ready to get shackled in for tonight's Shackled recap.
Right here, right there.
Is it too late to quit?
No, it's never too late.
It's never too late.
Can I get a rocks fall?
Oh man. Okay. All right. So, cool thing that I found.
Knock. My last name is Joseph.
Not that I'm. It's gonna matter to a lot
This
of
man
you guys.
got two first names.
But I think Will and Red will probably enjoy this the most. And it's totally D&D related, so it's kind of off kilter. But I found this book, Tales from the Yawning Portal, at my half-price bookstore, and it's typically like MSRP $50. So they had it on their shelves at a half-price bookstore for
full price,
$10,
$25. 20. There you go, 25. That's y'all said 25. Good job. You look at you mathematicians.
$12.50.
Hold on, you're pretty close there actually.
I mean, if it was half price twice, right?
It was half price twice because
$12.50.
It was my birthday and they gave me a 50% off coupon.
Okay.
So I got it for $12 plus a little bit in tax. But the reason that I say this is cool because the very first module in the book is
Sunless.
The Sunless Citadel.
Yeah, boy.
Which I think is super neat. Because they give you guys lots of details, and I know that a lot of people were curious to know what the tree and what that druid looked like. If you've ever looked it up, they did new art for it.
Oh shit! There's tree.
There's Boy himself, and for those of you that are watching at home, that's the druid with the
Whomping Willow.
Yeah, exactly, the Whomping Willow. Yeah. The brother and sister there, which are supplicants. So,
Profit. If we're lucky.
Yeah, is there a picture of Meepo?
actually, I think there is a picture of Meepo.
He just got deleted. It was a real shame.
I miss Meepo so much.
They
Bring
just
Meepo
deleted
into
him from
Shackled
every
City.
copy.
Here's Meepo. This is the updated version of Meepo right there.
He is
No,
far
no
less cute than I
kobold.
imagined.
Yeah,
him to be.
well, I mean, they changed kobolds and what they look like, but you actually get a picture of Meepo's mom, and she's
This is
kind of
bullshit.
she's a bitch.
I'm unhappy now.
There's Meepo's mom right there. And
She's
here,
significantly more dragon-like.
yeah, I know,
Kelsey
right?
will pay
Well,
for
that's the
this
thing.
slide.
Kobolds are supposed to be very dragon-like.
Yeah, but I don't know. Kobolds have their own distinct flavor of style.
They definitely
And,
changed them.
Yeah, they don't look like typical dragons.
They definitely changed them, and you can actually see in the artwork, because here's another picture. This shows Calcrix right here. You guys remember the baby
Oh
dragon?
yeah, the
right?
shit-eating dragon that likes to
Look
break
at the kobold head on the wall there. That's a lot closer to what they used to look like, which is the big fucking the derpy head. So for those that are looking at home, that's a baby dragon and the kobold head. But pretty much every time that I've run this game, everybody's killed Calcrix.
Good. Well, it's better to kill Meepo. I will always like how
The
Sniper
worst.
killed him in my game, because Sniper fucking kicked open the door and squished him against the fucking wall.
Yeah?
Thanks. Yeah.
The most legendary way any of my players have ever accidentally killed Meepo was actually Yggdrasil's Shadow. Shadow charged into the room because he'd heard something in there and was just vigilant to attack. And when he went in, he found the dragon, but the floor was covered in ice. Fails his reflex save, starts spinning around the room, grabs onto anything he can, and it happens to be Calcrix's chain. Calcrix takes flight, and he starts panicking and falls, slamming Calcrix onto his own spike and impaling him to death immediately.
Yep. And for the record, this is after I walked in and said, "Hey, we should probably go in one at a time. Let me talk to him first." And they're like, "Okay,
Fuck that
sure."
shit.
He does a defensive dragon breath, okay? He just like frosts the floor and I'm like, "Oh, hey, it's cool. Calm down." And then everyone's like, "That's going to destroy it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Cool.
That doesn't sound familiar to our group at all. No idea. We would tackle it very differently.
Yeah, I mean, we're not murder hobos.
Never us. Never.
Needless to say, I was very happy to have found that book for that price because it gives you all of the updated art, the updated maps. And while I don't know 5th edition that well, and I eventually intend to sort of learn the basis of it, even though it's still just a D20 modern, it should be easy enough for me to adapt to.
Yeah, dude, 5th edition is like it's easier on you because it's less rule mechanics to have to keep track of.
Yeah.
And then it's easier for players to, I guess, like power scale and leveling, and then they're to like it's harder for them to min max because there's a cap at like what you get.
I will say this because up until last week, I have been playing a 5e game. It's amazing how much easier it is to play compared to Pathfinder. Like, if I don't have my sheet, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to roll. It's a pain in the ass.
For Pathfinder?
Whereas, yeah,
Oh, I don't
like
have a
I have to
problem.
go ahead and run calculations with what I'm going to roll at any given time, depending on what I'm going to be using.
I like how you say calculations like you're a fucking scientist in Pathfinder. Bro, it's always just like, at your level even, it's like, add 15 to a d20.
Got that old woman math meme that's going on.
Yeah, add 15 to a d20 if I'm just going to go ahead and attack with a straight non-magical weapon. If I got a non-magical weapon, I go ahead and add 1 or 2. If I got, if I happen to be using some of my arcane skills to go ahead and buff it up, I can add 2 or 3 there. If I happen to be doing, a particular action, I take away 2 or 3.
It's keeping track of all the pluses.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I've got
that
like
bad.
5 different things I can do to go ahead and affect it before even pulling out what I can do.
The
spellcasting.
easiest way to memorize your character sheet is just to type it up yourself.
No, he doesn't. This is the problem. Like, he's saying all of these things that he can do and that he has to do the math for. And like, this isn't even a jab. Sniper doesn't have good memory.
No, I really genuinely do not.
So for him to be able to memorize a character sheet like that, because I don't even know how many games you even play in, dude. Like, it's hard to remember one character sheet perfectly if you have 3 or 4 games that you're playing in a week.
And my memory is just shot to start with.
I've memorized every character I've ever made, ever.
Well, this is what happens when you don't have a life. You memorize every character sheet ever.
Give it another 10 or 15 years there.
Yeah, he'll catch up. It's all right. Oh, man. So,
But yeah, for that
I-
recap,
yes,
I just wish
hit
I
me with it.
hadn't done all that cocaine and LSD.
I'm with you there.
all right.
Does that mean you
Oh,
forgot
weird.
how old you actually are?
Don't know how to
It makes a
segue
whole
out of
lot more
that.
sense if you were like 60.
I don't know how to segue out of that. Oh, man.
On that note,
this is what I
moving along.
needed. This is perfect. This is going to be a good night.
Speaking of drugs, what happened last week? 2 weeks ago.
There was a big reveal.
It was a fairly big reveal, yeah.
Kind of big.
Yeah, so
So-
let's kick around for each character. Everybody had a little bit going on last session, with an exception to likely Cort, unless someone can remind me what happened last session. But Cort
I
doesn't
got
really pursue
Exodia.
anything.
I
Excuse me?
remember being cleaned, and that's pretty much where that memory ends. I blocked out the rest following that.
Cleansed, not cleaned.
As far as Jakob and Cort are concerned, because of course we split the party,
Sure.
We ran to Genya. That's what we did.
Jakob and Cort ran to Genya to go ahead and get more of an idea as to what was going on with
You
this.
found out your past.
Yeah, thanks. Getting there.
It's okay. Keep
Look.
going. Keep going.
Yeah, we went to go ahead and inquire into Genya as to what we can do about the wraith that was summoned within the Church of Ouijas. And Genya went ahead and indicated, oh, yes, this is kind of an elder wraith. This is a big problem, but the best thing to do is just let it get out of the city. But in kind of helping us, she decided to look in Jacob's mind as to just what the hell happened, because he wasn't really explaining it to her satisfaction.
Yes.
And she chanced upon something that happened to be there. A mental block as it was. And as a favor, well, quasi favor, she decided to go ahead and just knock the shit out of me and take that block away. No idea what it did at the time, but we went ahead and pushed on to the Church of St. Cuthbert, because it turns out that this wraith originally was a member, one of the founding members of the Church of St. Cuthbert's. We went ahead and found, God, was it Genya?
Yeah, it was Genya.
Yeah, Genya.
She's the only one left alive.
Yeah, but all the others are kind of dead.
Well, I guess we don't really know.
Well,
about
no, my problem is I thought Genya was the dragon woman. No, so Genya wasn't the one that went ahead and
That's Sasha.
it was Sasha. But yeah, we go find Genya, who is still at the Wee Apothecary, trying to deal with this sickness that's hitting across Cauldron, and it's gotten worse. And of course, we couldn't pull her away, but she did give indicators that if there was, what we were looking for was likely in a particular corner of the ruins. And we just happened to chance upon the right area. And, I fell through the floor
Yep.
and got knocked the shit out of me again with, a giant stone pillar.
But
Because
it's
Cort
okay.
dropped his end.
I did not.
Totally fumbled it.
I passed my checks, homie.
He did. He
You
smashed.
should
his
not
checks.
step on loose. But look, it's okay because you fell somewhere that you
Let
know.
me have this!
I think he meant to say "quote unquote" bitch slapped with a wall. Yeah, that's and that's from your lady friend. I mean, that's accurate. On the
Love you
nose.
too, Fish.
Well done. Well
But
done.
yeah. Come to find that we were in one of the basements of the Church of St. Cuthbert that had survived the wreckage
Yes.
of Dad. And in looking through, we managed to go ahead and come across this skull that had been impaled upon a spike, which was a symbol of the Church of St. Cuthbert. And we also happened to notice, there's some children's building blocks in the corner. Oh, that sparked a memory. Oh no.
Oh, it's magic.
Yeah, so at that point, we realized that Jakob is a recurring character in the game.
Yeah.
Because he has shown up before. He was actually tiefling demon child that was rescued by a previous character of Ennies, Horum. He was rescued and brought to the Church of St. Cuthbert's.
Tried to drown him.
Yeah, so it turns out that Jacob is not in his 20s. He's more like 20 months old. And yeah, turns out Kiana Green's going to be ending up on To Catch a Predator pretty soon. They got that scheduled in the background.
That works.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird.
I mean, you don't have to explain it to her that you're less than 2 years old.
No,
and you got a rap sheet larger than the worst criminals
Jacob's,
of Cauldron.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. In the list of mass murderers, Jacob's really running ahead of the curve.
You know what's super wild to me when I think about it is Klaus died for a 2-year-old and he hated children.
I'm a little salty about that.
Oh, that's good. That's super good. Oh man.
We don't know that he's permadead though.
But it turns out that baby Jacob was specifically born to perform a function for Napthatorin, and Napthatorin actually led him to meet Ulhime several months ago. And
it planted lots of memories in
yeah,
you.
and that's where we kind of left off. And
as far as your story was concerned,
yeah, sure. Cort and Jacob are currently on their way back to the Church of Ouijas to try and resolve the Wraith issue.
Yeah.
So you're all caught up with the important people.
That was their half. Where the more important stuff happened was Xander stood his ground against Glemmonath. Glemmonath.
Yeah.
Glemmonath.
With an N. Okay.
Yes.
Because he's very stoic, and that's kind of the way he lives his life. And then he got bopped.
Yeah. He did.
And
pretty much,
he got bopped harder than Bob's 29.
I was like, draw your last pathetic attack so I can finish this duel. And then Glemmonath was like, my grandpa's deck has no pathetic hearts, Kaiba, but it does contain the unstoppable Earthshaker. I was like, the Earthshaker? That's impossible. No one's been able to summon him. And he's like, I've assembled all 5 attacks. And I was like, oh my god. He's like, just fucking.
And this is why he remembers every character sheet, because no one will talk to him outside of this group.
Am I the only one that's noticing that's like the 3rd or 4th reference that he's made to Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
Yeah, just within
It's definitely been a lot more than that.
Yeah.
This is where you rip your shirt to reveal the
it's actually the
Yu-Gi-Oh tattoo.
Oh,
you don't know how the chest of Exodia just
not even. He's just got all of the pictures of the people's faces across his chest.
Yeah.
If you want to know how bad it gets with Ronald, like dealing with him in conversation, he comes into Discord every night with a different name, and I think it was last night was Corona Prime.
Oh, Corona Prime?
Yeah.
Then I switched it to Tower Records.
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't get the Tower Records reference.
It's an old fucking music store. It's like, was it Faye? It's similar to that, but older. Like in the 90s, it was like already dying out. Like late 90s, it was already dying out.
There was also a movie about it called Tower Records.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sniper's seen it. He probably just doesn't remember it.
No, I remember the movie. I just don't understand the inclusion, the reference.
It's because
it's just a super old reference. Like if anyone got it, then they got it. But if not, then it is what it is. Yeah.
Just no context.
/ban XanderDarks. I know, right? Unfortunately, can't do that for my entire life. Not that I would, not even suggesting, but needless to say, there's more story going on per each character.
Yeah. Though, like realistically, I was defeated in combat trying to stop Glemmonath, and because of that, my phylactery ended up kicking in, which Severin ended up noticing. The mouth opened, right? The eyes and mouth opened. And it started showing my face protruding from the shield instead of the pariah face that he had normally seen.
Correct. You heard
and I got a message too.
Yes, you did. I was waiting on that. He had to take notes. This is the one thing he can't remember.
Coggers.
Bub put it in binary, so he couldn't memorize it.
Next
Oh.
one's gonna be in Morse
I actually only coded it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Health. That's it.
I feel like that would be easy.
The message that Severin had to the person that I could not see, he said, "We must move the cages now. Embrel has failed," and that's the only part that I picked up.
Yes, and you only got that courtesy of a really, really high roll on your perception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see if you get to investigate that a little bit more. You know, where you are isn't quite the material plane. You're literally crossing over from another space.
Yeah.
So in order for you
isn't
to
like last time where I have free reign, right? Like I just feel my essence being pulled back into the phylactery.
from a totally different plane. Like while the phylactery's here, it's essentially like it's a very small doorway from another plane. So you're getting this windowed view of the material plane, and how you're able to hear is beyond you. But who knows? That's something that's sort of still left up to investigation. So we'll see what comes of it.
Understood.
So, what else happened per the characters? There were some other things that were going on.
I wound up the beginning of last session. I had ended up inside the bathhouse due to the teleportation wild magic that led me out.
Yes.
And knowing that it was a threat, I decided I should let the mayor know, because he's the most important person in the town, and he talked a whole bunch of shit about he doesn't care what happens inside the church. That's church business. But as long as it's not something that threatens his townspeople, then it's not his business. Which is why I thought it was okay to go in and, take out the issue that was there. But now it's on his hands. So I went and saw him, and he's like, "Shit's fucked, man. And you shouldn't have done that. You should just die so that he can leave." Because even the mayor, who I know he is a beholder, but not really what a beholder is. I know he's strong, much stronger than he seems, and that he's been around for many reigns of this town, but he just keeps changing his image.
Yeah, you did see something that let you on to believe that he's not fully human.
I saw one of his eyes look at me, and he shuddered, and his visage started to crumble a tiny bit when I mentioned Glemmonath's name.
Yeah, not full eye stalk, but you actually saw another eye open on his face.
Yep.
Briefly, but he was able to
disgusted.
pull himself back to whatever form he is immediately assuming. You're not even sure how he attains these. Do you think he just dreams these bodies up?
I don't know. Maybe he kills people and then takes their identity. People
Perhaps.
of noble status.
Perhaps.
That's what I would do.
That's pretty good. It's not bad. You're thinking like a DM, sir. Very good.
Yeah.
So you did. You fled.
Better
You took his
thinking
advice
like a
and
BM.
you pieced it. You got out real quick.
Yep. I got outside because I know that the town hall is protected by some kind of magic. And I pieced it off to Sasserine. I just wanted to fill in the head of the church there, the head mother, of what had been going on. And I teleported, and as I was about to leave, I saw Glemmonath coming at me. And I was a little bit spooked. And I was like, well, fuck. So I teleported out of there. And then as I had teleported, I took a few steps out, and then I heard something pretty horrendous. As I looked back, whatever Glemmonath is, was ripping open the tear.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't. So I threw a statue at him.
You did. And without total irony, what statue did you throw?
It was a statue of Weejoss.
Yeah.
I just smacked him in the chest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely something that's new for you, and probably even for most. With a corporeal form and his influence, he was able to basically break a rule of magic. So who really knows what Glemmonath is entirely capable of in the pursuit of his goal?
I don't. But I know that as soon as I did that, I went into the church and I started to receive these images like a message. And he said if I'm not going to face him head on, he's going to destroy what I love most. and I saw him start to destroy the pillars in the church as he took them down slowly. But I mean, they're support pillars; they're not going to just crumble like nothing. But he was break down the place I love most. And so I went to the head mother. I showed her everything, and then 15-20 minutes I talked to her about all of the questions she had about my choices, and I was honest with her. I wasn't going to hold anything back. This was the time I was going to die. Might as well leave everything I have with her. And then she's like, she doesn't have faith in me anymore. But if I'm still alive, then Weejoss does. And if I'm going to become the head mother, I need to go back and fight for my church.
Yeah. It's a pretty big statement. I would say it's even a fairly defining moment for your character. Because you have to make that decision. Do you go back and face the threat that is this tireless, super rage-energized barbarian that is controlled by Glemmonath, a spirit probably beyond your most understanding total capacity? Or do you run? Do you run forever? I mean, you can, but you also know that realistically, we did the math, and he could have ran to Sasserine in 20 hours.
Yeah, in a little under a day. I mean, I could get an 8 hours rest and just teleport frantically across like wherever. Go wherever I want.
The more and more I think about that character, about Rahk with Glemmonath on top of it, it's sort of like in Borderlands 2 when you shoot the mask off of the big guy in his
Goliath.
The Goliath, and you're just like, ah! Just like fucking running and jumping over things. That's Rahk right now,
man. The
man.
Shit out of his allies and gets stronger.
Yeah.
All I'm imagining now is Thelsa teleporting back and forth from city to city, and every time he teleports, Glemmonath just does a complete 180. And then just runs in the complete opposite direction and just keeps.
Can you imagine after like 2 weeks of doing that, Rahk, you would finally be like, fuck it, I'm gonna face him. His legs would be this big, just a solid brick of muscle. If that dude kicked you, he would end your entire family tree. If there was ever a sibling ever left, it just immediately just fucking Thanos snapped right there with that.
No, I literally
there isn't. I made sure of that.
I wouldn't attack with my weapon. I would just Goomba stomp you.
Yeah.
Just thigh crush.
Would he get faster?
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a man made entirely of thighs. That's what that is.
You wouldn't necessarily get faster, but your bounds would be so much farther that it would seem like you're faster.
Fucking Hulk leaps from city to city.
Okay, but would he get to the point...
Like a 30-foot stride.
Would he get to the point where his legs would be so big they'd rub on each other when he ran, so he'd end up just like tearing his muscle apart between his...
Bro, he would have calloused thighs. Just completely calloused thighs. Ugh.
Gross.
That's actually how he kills. He doesn't even attack you with his weapon. He just puts your head between his thighs, and then it's just like bricks mashing you. Because the level of callus is
stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, R-A-H-K. God damn it.
Stuck between my rocks and a hard place.
Ugh.
Anyways, no, he just run at you full speed and then like fly with his pelvis towards you and crush you as he flies past.
On your nuts again, they disappear.
I remember years ago when I first started into this game, I thought, man, it'd be really cool to get into a serious game.
You never thought that. You watched us before you joined this shit.
Dude, my first character was Jimmy. How could you think this was a serious game?
Well, no, Bubs actually wanted me in to go ahead and, give a boost of seriousness.
I do. You knew when this was going to be.
With this group, we have these. It's like it's circular moment, right? Like the circular momentum. We have these. It's like laugh track, serious moment, laugh track, and we see it even in the after show where it's like we're just like, okay, this is lots of fun, and then like, oh shit, like the weight and momentum of this is much higher and harder than I even anticipated. Ronald talks to me pretty much through most of the week about like plans and plotting. The fact that I don't hear from you guys like at all, it just you either completely blank slate it or you're dreading the entire experience.
I often talk to Will and Red about plans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think of plans. None of my characters are characters that
you don't have a plan? I'm shocked.
I know. have everything so meticulously planned all the time. It's insane to not have my D&D character.
Mr.
like
Apple Backpack, I am fucking floored.
Oh fuck!
What just happened?
Honestly, it's impossible for me.
Yanked away.
It's
guy with the
actually
mic is,
impossible for me to
"No,
plan
you gotta
anything
pull it back
because
down."
I still have no idea what's going on in Galdrin.
I just pictured like a really bad comedian on stage, and he starts
The
laughing at
shepherd's
his own
hook,
joke, and then he gets shepherd hooked off the stage. But you still hear the laughing when he's off stage.
Red is
That's what that
basically
seems like to
Carrot
me.
Top.
Oh man,
He is basically Carrot Top at this point.
Lord.
You haven't seen my driver's license photo. You don't know who out of this group is Carrot Top until you've seen that shit.
I look like someone you wouldn't want to cross the border in my passport.
Yeah, you look like a Canadian.
No,
Whatever
I mean
happened to
into
Carrot
Canada.
Top? Carrot Top got fucking ripped.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked.
He got ripped and he kind of pulled that Zsa Zsa Bajor, you know, thing with his surgeries.
Picture of Carrot
Gabor.
Top, he looks terrifying.
Yeah, well, I mean,
He could play the next Pennywise.
I'm
and do
convinced
it well.
he's actually part Red Dragon. He's just slowly advancing on that stage. If he
It's
pops
just
wings,
his
I'm not
face,
going to be
though.
surprised.
He's just terrifying.
It's
Yeah.
just his face that's Red Dragon, though.
Yeah,
He's just so
The
buff.
rest of his body is
so,
just
so
normal.
weird.
the rest of his body is just like full blown Chad, but Red Dragon. Oh man, what a way!
It's like
What a
the
way to
dragon
start.
version.
And this
of
is the
BoJack
quality
Horseman.
content that
Yeah.
all 47 of you jumped in on tonight.
Hey, this lets people know right away that this game
What to expect.
is it can be serious, but at the same time, it's very akin to your actual tabletop game, like sitting around a table. Like how many people here show up at someone's house with no snacks? They set their books down and they're in character the entire fucking time. Because I've never done that.
I'm sure they're out there.
I've never had a D&D game outside of
I've played like
my bedroom.
D&D twice outside of this game, and both times I think the first time I was a character named Punchy McFisto, and I punched shit to death. So, you know,
Were you a monk?
I don't remember. I think I was a fighter.
I will admit, all the games that I have played since learning how to play the game.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's still Bub's fault. I
Sorry,
gotta say,
question mark?
well, no. This is actually the first game I ever got into. Came across your stream while learning about actually what was supposed to be D&D 5e, but that went out the fucking window.
Imagine learning.
Yeah, imagine my face when me and my group is finally sitting down to play 5e, and I'm like, wait, what about this? That's Pathfinder. Fuck. But no, I will say that this is definitely, even with the games I play with friends, this is the friendliest like at table game that I've ever done. And
You're saying
got a
you hate all
Canadian
your
name.
other groups.
no, I love all of my groups that I play with, but
Hate
you
everyone
but
you
us
all are
more,
the
right?
zaniest.
Yeah, that's fair. That's probably accurate. But I think that's why this show keeps going, is because it is that as far as
Well,
an adjective
that
goes,
and we
sort of
make no
zany.
progress whatsoever.
Sometimes you do.
We're
Sometimes.
gonna be in Shackled City for another 3 years, boys.
Nope. No
Oh,
fucking way.
fuck.
No way.
We're in this for the long haul. My contract says
If it lasts
30.
another year,
We got another
doesn't matter
6
what
years
level
of
we are
this.
now,
We gotta
does it?
keep going somehow.
This
It
ain't gonna
has
be,
already been a long haul.
this ain't gonna be like Supernatural where there's 15 seasons of this shit. It's just not happening, my guys.
oh, that's where you're wrong.
You see, you think we're not going to be supernatural, but what we got is The Simpsons.
what? How many would you say is roughly in a season of episodes? In
For
an
this
average
group?
show?
For this group,
22 to
No,
23.
in a show.
25.
20,
So
24.
if say there's 25, just to keep it mean, that means we're 7 seasons in.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
That's
it shows you guys have.
intense.
There's been some drastic change. Some of you have gone through that many characters.
Ooh.
Thanks. I don't know how many I've gone through. Probably more than
I feel a little targeted there, man.
I think I have 8 characters. This
New
is my
players, same characters, pretty much so, Cal. It's just JoJo's with new players, same characters. Not wrong. Okay, so then let's kick this off, right? I'm not gonna force anyone to take this story right away. I'm gonna let you guys decide.
All right, Annie and Will can go ahead and take this first. We'll force them.
Well, that's not really how it works. This is my offer. If anybody would like to, you can't force anyone to do anything.
I don't mind starting.
Okay.
Because I have something I would like, and I wanted to head to the head mother
All right.
and ask if I could get assistance in scrying for my companions. I know that Ulhime didn't teleport out of the church, and that he probably stayed and fought. So either Glemmonath is dead, which I know isn't true, or Ulhime's dead, or dead. So I probably want to scry for Jakob, and so I'd head to her and ask for that.
Just real quick, I know out of game everyone knows that my shield is phylactery, but I don't think any of the players, like in game, they know it's a phylactery, right?
I don't know that it's your phylactery, but I do know you have a soul ore, so I know it's similar to the way Nap the Torrent is. And I also know that Nap the Torrent isn't in Cauldron.
That's
but
true.
I didn't relay that onto anyone.
I was going to say not anybody else is aware of that, I believe. There is still a lot of information to be told per each character. Each of you have these small nuggets of wisdom or information that you could share to change the overall gameplay and position of yourselves in the story. Whether or not you remember all of those things, that is, well, I mean, it's left to be told. So,
Thelsa is really considering starting a diary. And then once Thelsa dies, her notes that I took can be passed on to the future generations, because she has a lot of information that there just never has enough time to get to.
Okay, that's fair. That's also not a bad idea. So, let's kick this off then. You found yourself at the Temple of Weejas in Sasserine, in the company of the High Mother, alone. High Father is tending to other deeds inside of the temple. You notice that they were a little sparse on those attending. Your best guess is it's because they are on their way to your temple.
Yep, I don't know how far they are, but I know that they haven't left long ago. They said they were going to prepare for 2 days, then head out. And that was when I left the first time, and then I was back for maybe 2 days before this whole ordeal went down.
And does anybody remember exactly how long it takes by horse to get to Sasserine from Cauldron?
Sniper would be the only one.
About 4 or 5 days.
It's a little bit longer than that.
That's not on the pony. That's on the actual pony.
A little.
Well, it took me 4 or 5 days.
Right. I mean, that doesn't stop Sniper's character from getting exhausted either. Like, you just can't ride horseback straight the entire time. So yeah, he had to stop and rest. You're right. It is a little bit longer than that, but your journey took 2 weeks because you had to make multiple stops. It is about 7 days. And this was 3 days ago that you left. So,
I meant 4 or 5 days one way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 8 or 9 days.
Oh, okay.
So this is about 3 days ago. So you got about 4 or 5 before they're supposed to be here.
Yeah, I got 4 or 5 days to get Masons in. They're gonna come in a little bit upset.
Yeah. You guys have no idea when the assistance is coming from Red Gorge. Who knows what they're sending? They could just send supplies and not send any actual aid outside of that. You were looking for people to help repopulate and draw economy back into the city. Is this city in the state for dire economy at this point? Do you think it's even valuable? You think it's valuable?
If we take out this threat, I think that it's livable here for now, until something new comes along, and then I would suggest everyone leave town. But if it continues in the path it's going, this town is just going to be destroyed slowly.
Okay. All right, well, the High Mother has expressed her concern. You're right. She has lost faith in you. But as she also stressed, just because she has doesn't mean that Weejas has. And if you survive the affair, then you are in her favor. And that's oftentimes how most churches view things. If you did not succeed in your task, your God was not in your favor.
Yep, very much like the Vikings.
So, she sits with you a while longer, while you sort of stew and ruminate on these details. How long will you wait? Will you say anything to her?
It would probably be only a few minutes because I know how dire what's going on at the temple is. And then I'd say to her, I have a favor to ask of you, and I know it's a lot, but one last thing before I leave.
She peers to you, looks on.
I need aid to scry for an ally of mine. I need to know that if we plan on taking him, it won't just be myself.
She says, it is the least that I can do. She stands, and she'll take you to the scrying pool. You're fairly familiar with how this works. Depending on what it is that you're trying to do, sometimes it can take a very daunting offering. But in this case, if you're just looking for a single individual, it won't take much. Oftentimes just a drop. So what do?
I'm just going to take out the dagger that I keep on me, and I'm going to cut the same finger. Actually, is my finger still bleeding? I assume it wouldn't be. The pinky that I cut 3 days ago.
No, it is still a mess, bear in mind.
Yeah, I figured it would be. I'm probably going to recut that finger. Just seems like an apt place. Blood worked there the first time. Why not the second time? And then I'm going to drip a few drops into the pool, and I'm going to ask for... I need to see my ally, Jakob.
Okay. You say that aloud, and you envision your ally, sometimes in the many forms that he has obtained or utilized.
I'd probably try and picture him in his true form, the ugly one.
Okay. And you do. You gain a glimpse of him in his true form. And while at first you can't seem to make out where he is, as it is very dark, it starts to open up, this vision. It's almost as if you're looking through his eyes, and then it pulls the camera to a third person's view, where you're looking down upon him. And he looks befuddled, confused. His brow is furrowed as he peers around a very darkened room. He leans forward and he seems to pick something up as he fidgets with what appears to be a child's toy. Blocks. You have no idea where he is. You can't seem to leave the immediate area of the room. You hear movement above, and it could be Cort. It could be Rahk, though not likely. It's not as if he's broken his steed from Glemmonath.
It doesn't sound like it's Glemmonath's destructive rampage.
And you still have no idea where Ulhime is.
Yeah. I have a sinking feeling about Ulhime because I know since he didn't teleport with us, either he's elsewhere and lost, or he stood his ground because that is who he is.
Okay.
He's not one to flee. So I really have no idea where this guy is. I'm gonna drip a few more drops, and I'm gonna say I need to see Cort, my other ally.
At this point, you are bleeding, right? Like you're bleeding this wound.
Yeah,
out.
it's yeah. I'm pressing the blood from my hand.
Sure. For narrative's sake, anything that requires a somatic component, I'm gonna need you to make a concentration check upon, because you are doing further damage to your hand, and it is becoming rather sore. It's not gonna be a hard check, especially since you have so many points into it, but going forward, I would like to see you succeed in some concentration checks. So you
Sounds
do.
good.
You stomach the pain, and you focus. You bleed a few more drips into the bowl. And as it swirls, it appears before you. At first, it just looks like stones, rocks, dark stones. And then it moves to his fingers, his hands, as they seem to pull up from this area. They're drawing forth, and you can see his face. And as the camera pans around, you see that he's standing amidst an area of ruin and rubble. You can't really make out what it is, but you can tell it's charred. Now, there's many places that seem to fit that description, but you have no idea where he is. However, you can see bits of light disappear into this vacated area below him. And you can probably put that together that this might be exactly where Jakob is.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case. I'm gonna stop and think for a few seconds of places that are burned down inside the city.
Give me a concentration check.
Okay.
And a perception. Very good. Wow, very good. You actually see a very familiar arch. While you haven't been here that often, you've been here enough to know that this was once the Church of St. Cuthbert. They have a very unique, ornate, decorated arch that leads into the church. Though it's been burned down and destroyed, this arch still remains. It is one of the last few things that decorate the area of ruin and rubble.
Yeah. I'm just gonna shake my head and I'm gonna turn to the head mother and say, "Thank you for all you've done for me. Truly, it's more than I deserve."
She nods.
And then I'm gonna head out the front door and I'm gonna start channeling a teleport back to, specifically the Church of St. Cuthbert's.
Sure. When you begin exiting the room, with that lingering perception, your heightened awareness, you hear a very muffled, albeit muffled, a voice from the High Mother. "May we just have your stride?" And as you exit, give me one more concentration check as you begin to summon yourself back. Hey, Mr. Medics, what's going on, buddy? Very good. Very good. Easy stuff for you. The more damage that happens to your hand, however, the harder the checks will become.
Yeah, I figured.
Just so everybody knows, if you are watching from any location, if you guys want to give them an opportunity at succeeding a bit better, or give me a chance at really ruining their days, you guys can gift sub 5 people, and that will give them luck rerolls. Gift subbing 10 every time that you do 10 or more. It will give me a luck reroll, so they get a max of 5. That's 25 gift subs. At 50 gift subs, I'll have my max of 5 luck rerolls. It looks like there were no wild magic strides tonight, so I'm okay with that. You guys are probably gonna need all the help. Gonna need all the help you can get, I think.
Someone did ask earlier for it.
Did they?
Yes, but I think it was lost in chat. I don't remember who it was.
I've got no messages in my
reminded
Discord.
the teacher to give out homework.
And he's definitely that kind of guy.
I mean,
Hey.
I didn't do homework anyways. My entirety of school.
The real chaotic
I didn't do
evil
homework
I've ever
once.
seen.
Fish, thank you so much for the luck reroll. That's going right to the players. Looks like Geef, Tiger. We also have Fire Warrior, Sig, and Drenbar. Very, very, very good. Welcome in, guys. It's no worries. We'll have to get it next time. If you guys want to make sure that your wild magic comes through, make sure you PM me on Discord. That is the easiest and best way to make sure that I get that. So, all right, friends. You succeed. You teleport back. Where do you appear, or where would you like to appear? Just in front of the arch?
It would likely be just outside of the church, because I know that churches have some lingering anti-magic just based off of their deities, and
Divinity does
wanna...
work in weird ways. You're right. There might be something there.
I never want to. I don't know. There's some stigma with teleporting into a church where I feel like something can go wrong, and I'd rather just teleport onto the street instead and head in that way.
Personal decision. I got it. I like it. I dig it. Then you arrive and you hear the sounds of them eagerly working, and maybe them per se, as much as it could just be Cort. He's pulling. You can hear the rubble falling.
Right.
Nobody seems to be around. It's just before dusk at this point. You're so close, so close to the temple, and it's not been very long.
Yeah, I feel like he knows where I am at all times. Glemmonath's intuition, and I think if I can draw him to the church, it might cause more. That Thelsa doesn't know this. It's Innie talking.
Sure.
But I mean, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, but not a plan.
Right.
Currently, I just need to recap with the people that I know are alive for certain.
As you step through the Church of St. Cuthbert, striding over the hearth, moving past the the entrance, the rubble and ruin around you, there you find Cort, blade strapped to back as he's lifting what remains of a wall that seems to have toppled. It's hard work, but if anything, he's a strong back, and he's succeeding. He's moving each bit away. He's calling out. He seems to have called to... Your best guess is Jakob, below.
Probably when I'm
And
throwing the rock to him.
it's to you. The floor is open.
Cort, is there any news? As I'm stepping forward towards him.
I would. I'm not holding up any specific piece of the wall right now to stop this. Correct?
Nope. You're just kind of plucking away stone a little bit at a time.
Turn back around and say, "Oh, Thelsa, you're back already." Usually, you're gone for a lot longer.
I decided to teleport. It's significantly quicker than tree striding.
Well, Jacob's down there, and he's gonna point to the hole.
I didn't even know there was a basement here.
Yeah. He ended up stepping on a loose plank and falling down into it. I think he's okay though.
I think we need to act quickly because Glemmonath is consistently aware of my location, and if you guys have come up with nothing, I'm going to choose to face him alone.
Sniper, you did explain to me the fact that you need an artifact to call him back, didn't you? Or that we needed an artifact to remind him of it. Didn't you tell me?
Yeah, Jakob did explain to Cort that the reason we were going to St. Cuthbert's was to find an artifact.
Yeah.
Right.
Cort would relay this information. Well, we came here because we went to Sasha and she told Jakob that we needed to remind him of his past life with some kind of item. He was one of the founders of the church.
Glemmonath was?
Yeah. I think Jakob said he was killed by the members or something like that. But either way, we came here so we could try and find a symbol of the church.
Thelsa's going to stop and think for a second and then snap back to and move forward towards him. Then we must hurry.
Well, I think Jacob's down there looking right now.
I'm going to step forward towards Cort, and I'm gonna lay a hand on him, and I'm gonna cast this spell while I'm touching his shoulder.
Oh,
Concentration check.
I've already been touched so much. Are you gonna clean my armor too?
Enlarged person.
Yeah, I know I can't help much cleaning this thing off, but if you're bigger, you can move bigger stuff. So it seems. I'm hoping
you gain some strength to this as well, so it's going to benefit you. You do a lot in this time. You shift up a size category. It's going to take you from about 6 feet tall to right around 9 to 10 feet tall, maybe 11 feet tall. And you are also going to gain about 8 times your body weight.
Don't step on the wooden floors.
That's my concern right now.
But if he makes a bigger hole with his new size, that means they can get out quicker, right?
Is that how that works?
Sure.
Cort will take a note to not step on the loose planks.
Don't worry, Jacob. I'll get you.
Yeah, I'll get you out, Jacob. It's okay.
Hey, you guys.
He lifts the banister up, peering down, and you just see a giant Cort's face. Anybody want a peanut?
It's apples, actually.
Perfect.
Manifest an apple from my backpack.
Perfect. You do as such. You turn. You see your body begin to shift and reshape, maintaining everything that you have upon your person. Nothing seems to break,
That's good.
decay, or destroy. And you begin lifting.
Yep, I'm gonna keep cleaning it out.
With greater ease, you're able to remove these pillars, this fallen wall, and you reveal what looks to be a somewhat destroyed opening to a basement. A place that you weren't fully aware of.
I'd point it out to Thelsa so she can go there and check that out while I'm gonna keep cleaning up the rubble. I don't think I can fit down there anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over to the door once he points at it. Looks at me with his dumb smile and I'm just gonna head towards it and try and open it up.
I like I like somewhere in your head canon that the moment that you enlarge him, he actually gets dumber.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I both casted enervation,
Enfeeblement.
enfeeblement,
Yeah.
or feeble mind. Whatever.
Well, it's not like his
Feeble mind
intelligence
and-
stat was that high to begin with.
It's not that low.
It's not terrible. I mean, he's got.
It's
okay.
higher than Jacob's.
No,
Look,
it's not.
It's less than
Jacob,
mine.
His Jacob's
everyone's stupid
intelligence
compared to
is
me.
twice yours. Enlarged body, not enlarged brain. Gotcha.
Yeah. It actually doesn't grow the brain
Yeah.
in comparison to the rest of the body.
It's weird how
Large
that
brain.
works.
I'm just starting to spit out calculus, just sitting there. It's fine.
God, I'm just imagining it. I'm thinking of the old Marvel character Emotep.
Lord,
All right, I'm gonna see if I can open this hatch.
that hatch was basically
The hatch is
destroyed.
open.
Oh,
They-
then I'm just gonna climb down.
If not, I'll open it for you.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
It's the steps are mostly broken. When you find out, like, it's not that you're incredibly heavy, especially not wearing any armor or having much in the way of equipment. But when you make it down there, you can see that most of the steps were wooden and they were broken.
Yeah, like some giant asshole went ahead and fell through them.
Yeah.
Right. There's a giant asshole on the stairs.
And there you'll find, probably no more than 15 or so feet away, next to him is what looks like a glowing stone, even though he doesn't appear to be needing it. His back turned to you, and he is probably down to a single knee, and he's got something in his hands. I'm not really sure what it is.
He's actually got two things in his hands. In the one hand, he's got
The
a
effigy.
sack, a torn and ragged-looking sack, and on the other, he's got a children's building block.
Yeah, I saw the children's building blocks in the scry.
Yeah, and he's still probably just staring at it. Cogs
Yeah, I mean-
working real slow.
It wouldn't have been like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago that I just saw it. So I'm gonna take a few steps forward and say, Jacob, we've got no time for children's toys.
Voice breaks your concentration.
Yeah, and kind of blinking out of his memories, he'll kind of look around, note Thelsa. Where'd you come from?
The hatch?
You glance over her
Same
shoulder,
place you came in.
and there's light that seems to be shining just over her shoulder down the steps.
Never mind. Where did you go? And at this point, he absent-mindedly puts the children's block in his pocket, in one pocket, and hooks the sack onto his hip in one of his spell pouches.
I headed to Sasserine for some guidance from the head mother there, and
Thelsa, as you say this, as you're explaining what you've done, give me a sense motive.
Me or her?
Thelsa.
uh, 15.
He's always noticeably a little different than pretty much everyone else you've encountered thus far. There's always motivations or something much more that seems to be lurking beneath. Maybe it's just a side effect of being from another plane. Maybe it's because he's more than tiefling. And out of game, you understand what he is, but in game, you're not entirely sure. But something about him still seems just a little off. You can't quite place it. It's even more off than normal.
I noticed the sack, but I'm gonna look around for a few seconds because I don't know that he's seen anything further.
Sure.
Have you found whatever relic you were coming here for? As I'm peering around the room with very little light.
I found what's required, yes. As to what, I'm not quite sure I should be telling you. The minute we went ahead and managed to show up anywhere, you disappeared. Without a word, without an explanation.
If I stayed for long, the Glemmonath Rahk would have come for us. It knows where I am now, and it's coming. We don't have time to explain much.
Visibly upset, he peers down his nose at you.
Never really liked him anyways.
The feeling's mutual.
Look, I know it seems like I'm fleeing, but I was just trying to find a way to get away from Glemmonath. If I could have him run away from the town, it would save the many individuals that he would just kill. Immediately after I was at the bathhouse, I went to warn the mayor.
Yes.
I forgot the word mayor. I went to warn the mayor, and even he is afraid of Glemmonath.
Rightfully so. And at that point, he just strides past her to kind of look up at the hatch. Cort, do you have a rope up there?
A shadow peers over immediately of a very sizable figure.
Would I be able to just reach down there? No, right? It's
Yeah,
not that-
you should be able to, yeah. I mean, it's a hatch large enough for a person to descend through, so their body will propel forward, so you got to give them enough space, right? So you could feasibly just reach down and grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the deepest, the room's probably only like 12 or 15 feet
Yeah.
deep.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'll just outreach a hand, I guess.
Puberty again?
Thelsa!
You hear it in a much deeper tone. Thelsa.
Yes?
Just pointing the blame.
Gotcha.
I'm going to follow up behind Jacob.
But yeah, Jacob will go ahead and... Well, he's got crab claws, so he'll like land a claw, a full claw in the middle of this mitt, and just kind of like suffer being pulled out.
Okay. It's not going to be super difficult. You're not going to injure him whatsoever. You probably even use your smaller...
Crush!
Your smaller internal arms at this point to sort of support this this ankh that's speared through the top of someone's head.
That's at my hip.
Okay. All right. Then
That is safely secured at my hip, out of the way, so it's not likely to come across damage.
Yep. You take the assistance from the figure, and with ease you scale back up to the top. Where Cort was strong before, now he is dummy strong, and he's with ease just lifting you out like a toy. Followed quickly behind is Thelsa.
Yeah, and waiting for Thelsa. Once she's been lifted out, Jacob's going to turn and start working his way through the rubble back towards the road. Sasha went ahead and informed me that Glemmonath is the wraith of a man who used to belong to the Church of St. Cuthbert. He was in fact one of the founders, but he tended to have a violent view on how to shepherd his flock, so to speak.
Then would it be of assistance to draw him here? To see his old place that he founded in ruin now, due to the events that have occurred?
I don't
over
think
time?
technically you are aware that he was a shepherd of his flock at this particular location. Yet. Though, with some details, I think you'll be able to pick that up quickly.
I don't really think that seeing an image of St. Cuthbert's, or even seeing the wreckage of St. Cuthbert's, is necessarily going to help things. Add in the fact that apparently, as a wraith, as a greater wraith, an elder wraith, as you will, merely walking through the city is likely to kill people.
This is very true.
Yes, your colleague went ahead and called forth a formidable problem.
I know where he is right now. He's in the Church of Widras, attempting to destroy the pillars that hold the building.
Then best we go ahead and keep the damage there, don't you think?
I'd rather there was no damage at all.
Well, I'm sure you had all the best intentions. Regardless, we can talk about that later. For right now, if you think you can stay present long enough, let's go ahead and see about dealing with this problem.
My gift is a present.
You've seen down at this point that he's clutching something pretty close to his person. You know that he's after some sort of a relic. Your best guess is maybe that's it, but
Yeah,
you can't really make
if-
heads or tails of what it is.
If I know he was coming in search of a relic, and I didn't see anything that really stood out, and now he's just leaving, that it's probably whatever's in that bag.
Whatever the case may be, when you divined him the first time, you know that the relic isn't the children's blocks.
Yeah, no.
You know that you also discovered him pretty much engrossed in peering at these children's toys. He's never shown an interest in anything like this before. Whether or not you file that away for later, totally up to you. But in this case...
I would. It would be a talk that I would prefer to have with him alone. Let's make haste then. I can't cast teleport much more times. It's taxing on me. And I have been through a little bit so far. I think it's best we get there quickly.
Both of you immediately notice that as she says that it's becoming taxing, that she seems to pay some attention to her hand, and where she was nursing a wound on her hand, where there is a missing finger, correct?
Yep, I think it was the first knuckle down, or the second knuckle, rather.
It is now fervently bleeding. Again, it's been a few days, and she's been tending to it, but it is bleeding again.
More blood for the blood gods.
Jesus. I don't think...
Yeah, noticing that she is, dripping blood on the streets, he'll pause and look at her long enough. Do we need to stop and get that tended to?
No, I'll be fine.
Good. Then wrap it up. You're leaving a trail.
Question. I think it begs the question if you guys are interested in discovering whether or not how she was able to locate you so quickly, especially knowing that you've moved around the town. Very quickly so. Additionally, nobody's asked anything about Ulhime yet.
Yeah, as far as Jakob is concerned, he doesn't trust her as far as he can throw her at the moment. Because with the way everything has been kind of building up over the last several weeks, he's not entirely certain that this isn't part of Thelsa's design. And he, keep in mind, he's not entirely certain that he warped everyone out. He's not aware of that. He just knows that he went to cast a spell and strange shit happened, something that Thelsa is known to be able to do with her teleportation. And then immediately she turns around and teleports and vanishes within the city. So he's drawing improper conclusions.
Sure.
Thelsa just kind of does this often enough to where Cort can't really question it, because Cort's not a magician. So Cort doesn't have that firm... Cort doesn't know the difference between teleporting and the fact that you would have to specifically scribe where you're going to be able to teleport there with precision.
That's fair, and that makes
Cort
sense.
would just assume Thelsa can teleport to allies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also why Jakob isn't explaining in detail, I have the skull, of this particular individual, and he's not being like, here, you can hold this.
Okay.
I don't really want to touch it. It's kind of gross.
But it would still beg the question, where's Ulhime?
Cort's still of the opinion that he's still fighting at the church. Assuming if that's still not happening, then we've fucked up, because Cort wanted to go there first for that reason. And Jakob pretty much said, no, we have to do this so we don't go in there and get killed.
Right. As far as he's concerned, Ulhime is still at the church.
Ulhime's holding the door.
And he's already kind of like set it up in his mind. Yeah, my dwarf is probably dead.
Cort doesn't have that idea. Cort still thinks that Ulhime's just there fighting.
Also, Thelsa's got the whole giving messages and visions from Glemmonath that the church is being destroyed, and she's a bit distracted at the moment. Like there's two minds going on inside of her brain. She's kind of going crazy.
Okay. And before you decide that you're going to move back, before we move back to all of this, I want to know what's happening at the Temple of Ouijas. Rahk,
Throwing a kegger.
you've been doing work. In the last 20 or so minutes, you've taken out a vast majority of the pillars of this location. You know that it's not much more at this point. Before that this place is going to come toppling down. You managed to destroy one of the rooms to the side, which inevitably has drastically weakened the tower itself to the right side. But you feel it. You feel that closeness, the drawback. She's near. She's very near. Much closer than you had anticipated. Either she's incredibly bold, or she seeks death. Do you continue to wait?
Yes, the temple is my only goal at the moment because chasing her would be fruitless considering she can just teleport away again, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. Alright. So then we have our showdown. Any last things that you wanted to plan? Any conversations that you felt like you needed to have before you rounded out and found yourselves in the face of something much older, darker, more sinister?
I don't want to waste any more time talking. The quicker we get there, the better, in Thelsa's mind.
Okay. Alright. Well, we'll see what happens. Remember, chat, you know how to get luck rerolls. They've only got one. They might need a few more. There may still be time for talk.
You give us
Doubt
one
it.
more, and Bub gets one, and that's not something I want.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I
There's
mean,
nothing
if
wrong
this
with that.
if this effigy is a will save for Glemmonath to just disappear, I don't want him to be able to reroll that will save.
Hey,
There it
Turbo,
is.
thank you so much. There's my luck reroll. That's what I'm talking about. Now I've got one. The player's got two. That's what matters. Appreciate that, bud. So Wesley, Zoriel, Aegis, SR7, and Kafka Syrup. You're in there like swimwear, kid. All right. It's yours. The three of you approach.
Since Jacob has whatever object this is, I'm gonna let him lead.
Okay. Jacob. She allows you to lead.
Yeah. Fearing that this is going to get a little ugly, of course, he is going to do a little prep work. He is going to go ahead and do his do his usual cast shield, buff up his weapon, little things like that. But that's not his main impetus. Once they arrive at the doors, though, and again, we're assuming that there's no wild magic, right? I only mention this because nobody has said anything about wild magic.
There was none tonight.
Nothing tonight.
Question, Bob.
What's up?
How long does the strength decrease from the Bone Devil whip thing that we fought? How long was that supposed to last?
How much strength did you lose?
3.
It lasts 1 a night, unless you have a potion.
Yeah, so I'm still at that -3, but +2 because of it. Okay.
Correct. So you're at a -1 at the moment.
Yeah, and
You
then
also have -2 AC.
yeah, and the
Yes.
thing I also wanted to ask is, in running here from the church, has it been more than, what is it, 11 minutes, 12 minutes?
13. I think it's 13 minutes. It's 1 minute per level, and Thelsa is 13. Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
So
So as we get there, it would be wearing off, correct?
it would be. You know what? I'll leave it down to a die roll.
Okay.
I'll say 15% in my favor of it wearing off. And I'll say that range is 38 up.
Okay.
Motherfucker. All right.
That was real close.
So
real
how
close.
how much longer do you want to give me on it?
We'll give you 3 minutes.
Okay. And then after that, it'll go back down to -3.
Correct. You will size back down to a medium-sized figure. Your AC will increase, your strength will decrease.
Okay, cool.
Does it also increase the weapon size?
Yes, it does.
Then it'll
Everything.
increase your base damage as well.
Cool.
All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Now, this is a most different kind of party. Oh my god. You haven't changed yet, correct? Or have you changed? Are you still back in your form, Thelsa?
I wouldn't be masking anything right now.
All right.
I need to save myself. I'm going in full me.
Nice.
Full demon mode.
So 2 demons
Yeah.
and a half giant walk into a temple.
Not in my town.
Not... Ooh, to fight off against something truly horrific. Brock, thank you so much. That's 3 gift subs right there. Or excuse me, 3 luck rerolls. Thank you, Brock. Appreciate that, bud. Zode
Good.
Shea.
I'm probably going to need every fucking one.
Optimus Subprime. Big Bills and Hein. The Heine stick. Okay.
Just out of curiosity, so of course we walk inside and we're at the lower level, on the ground floor. Where is Glemmonath in relation to where we are?
I'm gonna let Rahk explain the situation.
Oh boy.
Rahk, you feel them approaching. Your radar of sorts, your sense, is ticking. She's walking. She's not running. She's not teleporting. She's moving here. Could be confidence.
Yeah, come on.
Could be.
As the group approaches the temple, I will be finishing a swing on one of the remaining columns and sort of, I don't really know how best to put this. Casually waiting as best as I can be in this situation.
Yeah, you're just killing time at this point by killing the church.
He's just leaning on his Earthbreaker like, hey, how's it going?
You rise the first few steps. It's not much before you can ascend to the precipice of the base level of your location here, your temple. And you hear it, the sound of something shattering through stone. It's the Earthbreaker, this enormous maul that he carries drudging over shoulder. Not meant to kill a man, no. It's meant to bury men. With a single swing, could drive it into the ground. Like a hammer to a nail. And then there's a pause. As you rise, the 3 of you, 2 demons, and what looks to be a very armored hill giant.
Hell yeah. They call me Big Brother.
They don't. They definitely don't.
My wrestling
They
name.
don't.
What is the first thing they see, Rahk? Are you leaning on the Earthbreaker? Are you back to the wall? What's happening?
Is he eating an apple?
No, I'm readying my weapon after the swing, kind of recentering myself and getting ready to lower my head and charge.
Okay.
Just like 0 fucks given.
2 demons and hill giant versus the wraith of an old priest. Who's the bad guy here? In Shackled City,
Good question.
it's all of them. Trick question, it's all of them.
Fighting over power of the church.
Pretty much.
baddies?
Yeah. We all know
On the
what the
bright
church is for.
side, if Thelsa dies, there's still going to be a team coming to take over the church, so
All
her
right.
job wasn't entirely in
Not
vain.
if there's not a church left.
Well, as long as you don't, well, I feel like you wouldn't target the pillars anymore that you could see me. You're just going to head straight for me.
So, my friends, as you move up the steps, rising to the occasion, you peer across the open area. I'm going to go ahead and change your map so that everybody is aware of what you can see. And we find ourselves in the Temple of Ouijas. We'll get some zoom in action here.
You know, I really fucking hate this place.
What? What do you mean?
Every time we come here, there seems to be some asshole trying to start
1,
shit with us.
2, 3. All right. There's the 3 of you. Let's go ahead and move that. We're going to put you by that pillar there. Okay, that fair? It's far enough away.
Yarp.
All right, lads. Lads and ladies. So, as you enter into the ground level of the Temple of Ouijas, you peer across the open floor, where there is still the face of the Red Lady, the Crimson Queen. painted across the floor in all of her majesty. The three of you arrive, and as he readies himself with this enormous maul, this earthbreaker meant to bury men, the lights start to flicker as you see the stone continue to move and shift and fall before you. And that is when the three of you hear the voice. It's an exposure of sorts. It's definitely not Rahk speaking, but this time the voice says unto the three of you, "Be wary, for overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer."
I know Rahk's a poet, but I don't think that's him.
Unless you have dark vision or low light, your ability to see here is going to be very hard.
Can I, I'm gonna clap on my chest with my glowing gloves.
Thelsa has low light.
Dark vision.
Perfect.
Tiefling.
I'm going to slap a
Demon.
handprint on my chest. And I'm gonna make it radiate
Perfect.
Okay.
30-foot glow immediately emanates from the chest of the enlarged figure.
slap.
Yeah, just a big old handprint right on his chest,
Mhm.
as if there was, a problem with getting his target.
Look, I can't see. If he's within this range, I can see him. That's better.
Let's go from the vision here of your character.
Okay.
What is it? Is it control? I can't remember which one it is. I forget my shorthand now. Control shift, maybe? Oh, I can't remember what the shorthand is to view from your vision.
We'll find. Is there a click? Oh.
There is some sort of a shorthand. I just forget what it is. It's not super important, but we know that your vision is how far? Use the snap, please, if you could.
Snap, snap, snap.
You see out 30 feet, so about this far.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got it. Got it, friend. Now, he waits. Even with the darkness, it's still far enough away.
Oh wait, do you want to pump up my token?
Yeah, I can give you a scale up.
Pump it up. Wow.
There you go. Are there any words
Babyface
shared?
giant, man.
Are there any words shared? Do you say anything additionally?
Strolling in deeper, Jakob is going to kind of stab the staff of his scythe. This angelic creature warped into the body of a scythe to the flagstones. The only one who can afford to be overconfident is you, Glemmonath. You are the greater being here. That said, I would ask that you leave the body of our compatriot and let us part ways.
It's at this point, as you say that, this moment of overconfidence, the arm draws back, and while you can see it, the others cannot, sheerly due to distance. But there is a quick blink as his arm whips forward, his right arm, and something slides across the floor, steadily spinning until it hits your boot. It looks, as you peer down at it, your eyes adjusting, it looks like a part of Ulhime's arm.
Yeah, lifting his boot enough to stop the object as it slides across the floor. I'm assuming it's his metallic arm, so it's probably scraping and grating and hopping off the rubble. He'll glance down to it, make the connection, and then just kick it aside.
As he kicks this aside, Thelsa and Cort, you both immediately see this. It's remnants of Ulhime's arm, something that he would not willingly separate with. Not that he could anyway. How it still remains here is beyond you. This can only mean one thing.
Cort's just gonna let out a sigh and get quite upset at himself, at least. Not enough to shake him during the fight, but just kind of like a fuck.
Rahk, what would you like to do?
Rahk has a dark vision of 60 feet.
Yes.
So as soon as they enter his range of vision, he's going to charge the first one he sees.
Oh,
Okay.
Fuck.
So, while you have a range of 60 feet in your vision alone, the kicker is that there is light to their back, and the first one that you're going to see is Jakob.
Hi, guy. This is gonna suck.
You, sir, are not wrong. So,
Please don't get one-shot sniper.
while I do this, I would like for everyone to click,
I
click
would
upon their
point out
tokens.
that we were already damaged coming into this, so
Yeah, I know. Please don't
that-
get one.
that is a distinct possibility.
Please don't get one-shot sniper.
click upon your tokens and give me initiatives, please.
Ooh, I want to. Oh, because that's not cool.
Oh, if ever there was a time for me to get a high initiative, this is that time.
Remember, if you're unhappy with it, you guys have 3 luck rerolls.
It's kind of unfortunate because he's definitely the highest one on the chart right now.
You are not wrong.
I can at best match you, so you're going ahead of me regardless. So good luck.
Shit. It would help
Shit.
if I knew just what the fuck I rolled. No, I'm not going to be able to.
You rolled a 14.
Yeah, well, no, even at my best. I
Yep,
could
that's
only
what you're in the
roll a
same boat as
23.
me. We can match him. We're not beating him.
Yeah, and I don't think having haste on affects that.
Do you
Remember-
have improved initiative?
I'm not going to hold your hands through this. If you have something that you need to utilize, like let's say a relic or an artifact, it's up to you to expose that.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
My intention was to go ahead and try and get that out,
Before.
was try to discuss first and then whip it out, because I figure if it whips it out, that's immediately going to start the fight.
Another time you've whipped it out a little too slow, Sniper.
Daylight
Yeah.
dollar short. Let's see how this works. So I need to know, Rahk, what is your pacing here? How fast can you move?
Too fast. Definitely enough to go 60 feet.
Too
My
furious?
speed when raging is 45.
Oh, God.
Poggers.
No.
Do you charge?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
pog.
fuck.
All right, dog. Let's
Sniper, don't get one shot, please.
go. He's not going to be able to get a full round. He's going to get a single attack off, but it's going to be a charged attack. So,
Yeah, so I just got to hope that he rolls less than
Low.
25 or 25 or less.
That's not going to happen.
I was about to say, good luck with that idea.
I'm going to need a little clarification on what exactly charge modifies my attack by.
charge is going to modify your attack by 2.
Single attack, non-power attack at the highest bonus, I'm assuming.
Correct. You're going to lose some AC on this one because you're basically throwing yourself.
It's okay. I have such a negative to AC when I'm raging anyway that it doesn't really matter. Most of what they're going to throw at me is going to hit.
Right. So you charge across, and the moment that he starts to break stride, Jakob, as you begin to unravel this Ankh before you, with blinding speed, this half-orc sprints across the open floor. The hammer brings up behind his head, and before he can bring this down, there is a flash of the face of the Wraith. And let's close the gap. Go ahead and put yourself to where you feel like you're going to be, and I am going to turn on an effect.
Oh, this is great.
Feels
This is going to
bad.
suck.
All right. And as this Wraith's face flashes before you, you feel the temperature begin to drop. Ambiently so, it is just this natural cool around you, but the moment that you're within the range of this figure, it falls drastically. Your breath comes out in like steamed stacks of this, right? As it stokes from your mouth itself, you feel your muscles sort of cord up, the hairs on your arms stand. And I will immediately need fortitude saves.
From everybody.
Correct.
25.
No, I'm pretty sure you're reading mine.
Nope. I'm reading mine.
Jacob's
We both
got a
them.
25. Cort has a
yeah.
25. Thelsa has an 18. Let's see exactly what sort of save you gotta make here. So that's gonna be... It's high. It's very high. Cort, Jacob, you succeed. Thelsa, you do not succeed.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. This saving throw is repeated each round for the record, while you're within the range.
Yay.
If you take damage from the cold, or you become paralyzed, in which Thelsa, you're about to be paralyzed, your character is automatically shaken for 1 minute.
10 rounds?
Yes.
Fuck.
It won't
Thelsa.
last that long.
Oh dear. Dear Thelsa.
That's dangerous.
Thelsa, roll a d4 for me. Remember, if you would like to, you have luck rerolls.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just throw a luck reroll because paralysis isn't great.
No, not at all. Oh my god, right off of a 19.
I'm gonna roll that one more time.
Yeah?
Just to give it a go.
Ooh,
23.
Thelsa, that's an even or an odd in your favor.
I'm gonna go with even.
Did you just roll a melee?
I think I did.
You did.
Oh, it's the same.
Same
both.
modifier,
It's the
so-
same modifier.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair
I
enough.
can re-roll.
We're not
it if
about
you'd
to make
like.
him re-roll that.
No,
I can re-roll it if you'd like.
no,
but
it's fine. It's the same modifier. It's fine. We would roll the same
I'm
thing.
just a little scared right now.
I would be
I'm
impressed if
messing
you
up.
melee me from back there.
Yeah,
Even or odd in your favor.
I'm gonna go even.
Remember, if you're unhappy with this roll, you can use your last luck reroll to re-roll this.
Nah, that's pretty much the best I'm gonna get.
Okay, even in your favor. Oh my god.
4.
Lucky. You are not paralyzed.
It's
However,
always 4.
Yeah, it's always 4.
everyone takes 6 points of chilling cold damage.
Oh, that's
I
not
don't
helping much.
It's not. You're right.
Let's hope that he doesn't deal the ridiculous amount of damage that I think I'm looking forward to that I'm looking at right now.
Rahk.
Yeah.
Swing.
You need that attack roll?
Yeah.
Throw a 2 on there, just for good measure.
41.
Oh yeah, total whiff.
That's gonna hit, I think. I could be wrong,
Basically, not even close.
but I think a 41 hits.
Yeah.
Let's get some damage. Oh my god.
I told
Oh,
you.
if only that was a fucking
Is
crit.
that a 22?
Holy shit.
It's 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
22 points of damage.
He didn't do 25.
That's accurate. So in
Well,
this,
no, 25 was my AC.
So in this round, Jacob, you have taken 28 points of damage. The others have taken significantly less. But now it moves to the next person's round. I gotta go in descending order. So that goes to Boy Wonder back here. Hill Giant Prime.
Yeah.
Go tackle him.
I'm gonna have to do something a little bit better. I'm gonna walk on up. I'm gonna go for a Sunder on the Earthbreaker.
Okay. That's
I'm gonna.
You
That's
about to
real.
kill us all.
that's real challenging.
That's gonna blow both of your arms off.
Look, okay. So when you Sunder, you don't have to break per se. You can choose to either destroy it or leave it at 1 HP and broken. So I'm not attempting to destroy this. I just want it to stop.
Let me
being affected.
let me look at the Sundered rules real quick, because I know that
don't-
you're trying to do this,
I
and
can
it's not
listen to
something
you.
that
I have
happens
to-
that often.
He's actually just cutting all of the spikes off the Earthbreaker and making it into a mallet.
If your attack is successful, you deal damage to the item normally. Damage that exceeds it.
Do you have improved
is-
Sunder?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
He basically built this character to do exactly
If
this.
the damage you deal will reduce the object to less than 0 hit points, you can choose to destroy it. If you do not choose to destroy it. The object is left with only 1 hit point and the broken condition. And yeah, I made this whole character to Sunder. That's why when I was saying, it's like, I don't try to kill people I fight. I break their weapons and punch them in the face. It's more fun.
So you move over, and you're going to go for a targeted attack. In this case, it's not going to be super hard, but it is a targeted attack. It's called Shot. Go ahead and give me a -2 to your attack roll.
Okay, so well, I have my Sunder roll. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. Oh. That's just the base Sunder. 35.
35.
So 33.
Should hit. So if your attack is successful, you deal damage
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
to the item. Yes. So let's see. Courtesy of this weapon's hardness.
I live
Hardness.
Yep.
I live to make things significantly more difficult than they should.
Can you just sunder his arms instead? Just like cut the ligaments right at the elbow.
Okay. Damaging objects.
I'd break the armor, but I have a feeling your armor doesn't matter when you're charging.
It doesn't matter.
I'm assuming your AC is even lower than mine, which would be impressive.
What is the subject made of? What is your Earthbreaker made of?
Earthbreaker, I think it's just like a common metal. I don't know that it's made of any magical
Then it's
materials.
iron or steel.
Yeah.
Okay. You're definitely gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. It's what happens when you hit magical items. That's the tricky part. I've got to make some called moves here. Because I got to guess. I'm going to thumb up what I believe your weapon has as far as hit points.
It's +3 if that helps.
Yeah, that changes things. That changes things substantially, so.
Makes it even beefier.
I figure it's probably got more hit points. Either that or it has an effect when struck or attempted.
Hell
to sunder.
yeah! Give me the vibrations.
I'm real
I
glad
want the sword to rebound with the energy of a door stopper.
Oh, okay.
Just hear a really loud twang.
Okay, so you have the option to either smash it with a weapon or break it with your strength. You are trying to smash.
Yeah, I'm trying not to break the weapon entirely.
He's trying to smash.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it inefficient.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna hit. You're definitely gonna hit this here.
All right, so you want-
Table, substance, hit points, object hardness, hit points. Oh, here we go. And 10. Okay, so yeah, give me damage.
26.
26. Okay, so that moment when your weapon has as much hit points as a fucking steel door. That's bonkers.
Probably more dense than a sealed door.
Means I need to keep smashing, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
It's also probably tempered, which, doesn't make it any easier.
So you need to
Means that I just gotta keep on striking.
how well it resists damage. When the object is damaged, subtract its hardness from the damage itself. So you've got to overcome its hardness before you actually hit its hit points. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We
So
got
hardness is like DR then?
Yes,
Yeah.
basically.
Interesting.
All right, so it doesn't have insane, like it's got more hit points than it does hardness, but most items typically do. So
It doesn't have a hardness of like 30, right?
no.
Okay.
And you did how much did you do?
26 in total.
26 in total. Okay, so all right, you when you strike this, when your weapon comes down upon this, the moment that you sort of catch down and bring this down upon his weapon, there is a moment where it seems as if the haft itself sort of reflexively bends, and there's a small crack right where your weapon connects in this moment. You see this as well, Rahk, and I mean, your weapon, to your tribe that you came from, while it's not exactly the most cultured individuals, you know how important it is that your weapon is. It's sort of like, this is my rifle, this is my gun, and this one matters for basically everything. So you've carried this for a long time. You've earned it, and for someone to come up and put this much damage on it, even a small nick, it's enough right away, right, to invoke terror.
Yep.
So,
They're also my full ire.
exactly. That was my thoughts. Jacob,
Oh boy. I've just kicked the hornet's nest in the dick.
you did, in fact.
I can't make multiple thunder attacks in turn, can
Well, I mean, if you hadn't,
I? If it's a full action, would I be able to get two?
You had to move.
No, I'm saying like in future turns.
Yeah.
If I don't, okay.
For every time
Yeah,
you get to
sun-
attack, you can sunder.
That's
as many
what I
times.
figured.
yeah,
It's
a
just,
Sunder attempt is just kind of like a
It's an
CMD versus CMD, so it's a special maneuver. You can go
Yeah.
ahead and do as many of them as you have attack actions.
cool. I hope you're ready for that, Will.
We'll see how many actions you get.
But yeah, given that I've just had a hammer smashed basically across my face, Jacob will kind of teeter until Cort steps in and holds him at bay, locked weapon to weapon.
Yeah.
And during that, he will just leave his staff to stand aside because, magical staff, it do that stuff. And he'll pull up the Ankh and skull
The
while
power of Siren
while,
Ray
while
compels
basically
you.
getting all up in Glemmonath's shit and like borderline grabbing him by the tunic to wrench his head around and shove this skull in Glemmonath's, in Rahk's face. And then he'll just bellow out, "Glemmonath, witness again your demise. Witness again your sin."
Witness me.
And that's his action.
Okay,
Thanks.
so you explain this to me. Just don't give me the details of your specific story. Just give me the TLDR because I know what's happening narratively. You are grabbing the skull and shoving it in his face.
Yeah, basically I'm just kind of grabbing onto his shirt towards the shoulder to wrench him around and get his attention, and I'm shoving this Ankh and skull pretty much in his face so that it's unavoidable,
Okay. All
as
right.
if obscuring his vision.
Gotcha. All right. I see where you're going with this. Perfect.
CMB.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah. You,
If you're trying to move him.
all right, sir. This is a narratively. This is a fucking grapple. It's beautiful that you're doing this, but attack of opportunity.
Hell yeah, brother!
Rahk, attack of op.
Ah.
Unless, of course, I mean, it's still gonna happen, right? Like, he's doing this, so you get
You
your
can
attack
try.
of op. Go ahead and give me an attack of op, Rahk.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
I thought it was the 20. I almost puked.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
You know what's really fun about me rolling 20s?
Sniper, just
I
don't
have
get-
a rage ability that allows me to auto confirm a crit
Yeah.
once
Oh,
per rage.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
Give me some damage.
It wouldn't really matter if you auto-confirmed it. You roll again and you got a really
You're
good
gonna hit it
chance of
anyways.
hitting again.
Yeah, so basically I'm just picturing he up thrusts, he butt strokes
Ah,
my
your
ass.
skull!
Yeah, the rear side of the hammer swings forward as, like, you can see Cort's bastard sword that's splintered bit of it to the ground, right? Like, he's holding it down. And even with the weight of Cort's strength, Rahk rears up and just bops you right in the jaw with this for 25 points of damage.
Yeah, so imagine
some
him
molars
saying
out.
all of that, just spraying blood and everything else as well.
So, I have to make a will, or excuse me, not a will. I have to make a save here. It is, where is it? Exiled. The symbols of an exiled shade's former organization still holds power over its restless spirit. An exiled shade that can see such a symbol is sickened for as long as the symbol remains visible. Additionally, if the shade is directly confronted with such a symbol, which requires a standard action, it must succeed at a DC 18 will save, or become dazed for 1 round. If the shade succeeds, it can no longer be dazed in this manner for 24 hours, but it will still
Fuck.
remain sickened while in the symbol's presence. If the symbol is a holy symbol and is used in the act of channeling energy, the exiled shade does not gain its channel resistance against the effect. The symbol must be something the exiled shade's organization used to identify its members while the shade was alive, such as a noble crest, a knightly banner, or a holy icon. So,
So, in relation to that,
We really wish we had Ulhime here.
Yes.
the bonuses that you gave me
Yes.
for Fort, Ref, and
Yes.
Will, are those in addition to my current scores, or
No,
are those my new scores?
They topple your current scores.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure, because otherwise that would be pretty insane.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that'd be really gross if it's additive.
So we just gotta hope he rolls under an 18.
Yeah.
Gotta hope he rolls a 1.
Close. He
Very
rolled a
close.
3. He rolled a 3.
Look at that. That's higher than 18, if my math is
So
Can we
Jacob,
force his reroll?
you push this skull into his face, and as he sees it, you see this wraith sort of peer over, and it's like from Frighteners, right, where you see this like this drawn, darkened sheet just drape over the top, and that's when you like hear that, and you catch the hammer to the jaw. Immediately, though, as he swings up, you're caught in both the arm and the jaw. I need you to give me a reflex save so that you can maintain your hold on this skull, unless you just want to send it flying.
God, it would be amazing if you just went cartwheeling.
Jesus Christ.
With this, I don't know. I don't think this is gonna be enough. I don't think it's gonna be enough to hold on.
Yeah,
to
I
it.
think I'm gonna go ahead and use my reroll.
Okay, sure. Sure, let's see what you get.
Oh shit! It's always got to be something complicated.
Every time. That's better. That's
yeah. I'll stick with that.
significantly better. Will, just so you know, you while operating within bounds of
And
an
I would
exiled
point
holy
out-
icon.
Question:
Yes.
having it present gives him the second status,
Correct.
correct?
Correct. That's what I was
He
actually
failed
saying.
that. He should get a -2 penalty on his saving throw.
I was telling him that. Remember
Shit.
remember who that storyteller guy is.